myself, I want to thank everybody for plugging in and just being a part of the Courageous Self Summit. So many people may be asking, what are we doing here? Like what is this, guys? And so we wanted to we just wanted to break the monotony. There's so much chaos. There's so much stuff going on. There's so much out there right now that it can be so confusing as to which way to turn, left, right, go straight, look down, look up, whatever, right? And so we wanted to give you guys some powerful, life-giving nuggets that you can walk away with, that you can take to the bank and cash that junk, right? And so one thing that I wanted to throw at you guys was a quote, man, that came from John Maxwell. And I love this quote. I love this quote. I love this quote. It says, one of life's important questions is, who am I? But even more important is, who am I becoming? Now, the other day, and I made a post on my social media, the other day, I reached for my cell phone, right? And so it occurred to me briefly that my cell phone will only be with me a certain amount of time, right? And then I went and I unplugged it from a broken down, rugged, beaten up charger, right? That will only be with me for so long. And then I was reminded the day before that, I went to take my truck for an oil change. My truck had been bouncing and all this mess, and so I thought my tires just needed rotated and balanced. But when they put it on the rack and they picked my truck up, they noticed that my two front tires were completely separated, right? And so I had to replace my two front tires. Even more confirmation that our commodities are straight up designed to fail. They will only be with me for so long. And then I got my truck looked at. There's this issue, there's that issue. Further, just bringing home the point that we are in a system that is designed to fail. Okay? Now, when I take all of that and I add that with COVID-19, and then I add COVID-19 with race wars and all of this other type of stuff, I can look around at the expiration date on my commodities and all my things, and I can get a clear picture of how we are in a system designed to fail. But you, my friend, were created to win. You were created as a winner, and we want to show you how. And I love what Ben talked about, and basically this is what I got out of Ben. And okay, I'm lying. I actually thought about it on my way here, but he said it, and it was like he said the exact same thing. He said, all right, listen to this, guys. All right, our outcomes start with, they're driven by our thoughts. Our thoughts create our emotions, which drive our actions. Thoughts create our emotions and they drive our actions. Now, saying all of that, what if we could beat the system? What if we could win by using this very same method that has been designed for us to fail over and over? How is that? If you control your thoughts, you control your emotions, which control your actions. So if I think negative thoughts, then I'm going to go into a negative place and I'm going to live that negative life and I'm going to fall to that, right? But if I go and I think positive, powerful, life-giving thoughts, right? Yeah, then that's going to change my emotional state. And when my emotional state changes, then that's going to turn around and thus change my actions. With all of that, guys, we got one attendee that's trying to get in. And so my guys know what that means. And so anyway, yes, thoughts, emotions, actions, and then that brings it around to the 5 keys for courageous living. Now, I'm so excited to bring you these because if you apply these 5 keys to courageous living, then you can unlock your life, right? The very first key principle that I want to talk about is stop caring what other people think. Listen, like we could live a so much more fulfilling life if we knew just how little other people really thought about us. As long as you are living a growing, fulfilling, learning-full life, then the opinion of others is irrelevant. We have a short time on this great earth, in this great life that you've been given. We have a short time span here. I can't be so bogged down that I'm worried about what everybody else thinks about me, because I have a destiny, I have a legacy to fulfill, and so I'm not going to worry so much about what other people think. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to move boldly, and I'm going to have the courage to trust, as Ben says, the courage to act, and my thoughts are going to control my emotions, right? Which are then going to step out, and that's going to create my actions. And I'm going to walk into it boldly and confidently, right? My key principle number 2, my second key for courageous living is to know your mission and stand behind it. Understand that if God, I'm a man of faith, guys, if God put it inside you, then the world needs it. Guys, I'm serious. You gotta, no matter the opposition, you gotta stand firm, no apologies. Your mission is your destiny. Stand firm. Know your mission and stand behind it, guys. What were you created to do? And I run into people all the time and they say, yo, like I don't have a purpose for my life. I don't know what I'm here to do. I don't know what my calling is. And already you're starting in that. Ben was talking about that slumped over, that upset feeling, right? And so you're already training your mind. I don't have a purpose for my life. Why am I even showing up? Day after day after day. God spoke to me one of the clearest definitions of calling that I think I've ever heard. Your calling, friends, is where God has placed you for impact, and you are thankful through obedience. End of story. Whether you're the janitor or the CEO, you have a purpose, and it's to show up every day. Every day. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. Keep showing up. And when I say showing up, I mean being the best that you can be. Don't worry about what everybody else thinks, because at the end of the day, I gotta go to bed and rest easy. I have to sleep on a pillow, right? I have to be able to go through the night in peace, knowing that I gave this life all that I could give it. I have to stare my wife in the eyes. I have to stare my baby girls in the eyes, and I have to be at peace knowing that their daddy or their husband or their child or whatever it is left this earth having given it all that he could. Third key battle or key principle to courageous living is stop being afraid of failure. I love this, guys. And this is going to be alluded to so much in today's summit. Stop being afraid of failure. Listen, it's not if you're going to fail. It's when. We all fall short, guys. You are going to fail. But listen, I love this quote that Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players to ever play the game, he said, I have failed over and over and over. And he says, that is why I succeed. If I was going to live my life in failure, I wouldn't even have showed up today. I would have just been scared. I don't know who's going to come on. I don't know who's going to tune in. I don't know who's going to want to listen. Guess what? I don't care, because I have a message inside of me that I have to get out. It's got to get out. And it's for somebody. If God put it inside of me, then the world needs it. I'm not going to worry about failure. I'm not going to worry about those things. I'm going to think about things that are pure and right. Yeah. In every conversation that I step into, every person that I meet, I'm going to leave having learned something. I don't care how they respond. I don't care who you like or don't like. I'm man enough to make my own decisions. I don't have to go by he say and she say. I've got an internal compass. I've got a power source that I'm plugged into. I've got that internal compass that drives me to keep showing up day after day after day. Third key for courageous living, or fourth key for courageous living, is never stop learning. Guys, this life is an adventure. Your goal should be to learn something new each and every day. Hear me out. The day that you stop learning is the day that we die, physically, mentally, and spiritually. Period. End of story. I met a guy over in Africa. I was on a mission trip. We were driving by a graveyard. All right, and his name was Dr. Hennick. He was our guide. He was a local African guide. And Dr. Hennick, he said to me, we were driving by this graveyard, and he looks out and he says, "That's so sad." I turned around and I looked and I said, "What, that we die? Like, what are you talking about?" He said, "No, all of those people that go to that grave full of knowledge, full of wisdom, full of good health, full of energy, life, and they wasted it. And they went to the grave with all of it." Dr. Hennick said, "I want to go to the grave completely empty, having given everything I've got to my people, having given everything that I've got to my family, to my kids. I'm going to show up every day." Guys, we need to be face in books. We need to be reading. We need to be learning. We need to watch the news in moderation, right? And start learning what's going on out there, and allow our internal compass to drive us to succeed, because otherwise I'm sitting in fear. I'm sitting in fear, and I'm being driven by what other people tell me, without stepping out and learning the truth for myself, without stepping out and learning what it feels like in here to fail, without stepping out and learning what it feels like in here to fail and then win. Man, the win. It's like the win is like 500 Fridays compared to 500 Mondays, right? It's like, wow, like the win, you know? Like, what is it that you want to do, guys? What's that thing that you feel that fire, that desire right here, but you don't know what to do with it? Guys, I'm telling you, step out of your comfort zone. Stop caring. You were created for a purpose. Stop caring what other people think. Realize how little they really do. Second thing, know your mission and stand behind it. And don't just stand behind it, like stand firm. You know what I mean? Like stomp, boom, stand firm. Like this is your mission, right? For your life. And don't cower down to what he said, because they haven't been intentional. They haven't been intentional in their life to learn the lessons that you've learned, to do the things that you've done. Third, stop being afraid of failure. Never stop learning. The fifth key to courageous living is know your Listen to me. Your life has purpose. Your life has value. Me being a man of God, I firmly believe that He created you with His perfect hands. He created you with a plan and a purpose for your life and called you a masterpiece. Never let anybody stop you from doing what you were created to do. Just like Nehemiah building the wall, he said, he came up against opposition. He said, y'all go deal with that. I can't come off this wall. I can't come down off this wall. I have work to do. You, my friend, whether you're the janitor or the CEO, you have a job to do, and your job is to do it well. And we do it, and we show up every single day. Now, how can I do it, and how can I do it well? It's that thought process. It's that burn in here. It's that passion for more. It's that desire for I can do it, right? And it starts by putting down your speculation and picking up expectation. Let me say that one more time. Put down your speculation and pick up your expectation. I have a thought process before I take a phone call. I have like a speculation of how it's gonna go, right? Oh, this is my dad. Oh, I know how. Hey, what's up? You know. Oh, this is that person I didn't want to talk to over here. Hello, right? And you know, we have this speculation of like how things are going to go. If I walk in just like Ben walked in to ask his boss for a raise, okay, I can cower down. I can be fearful and say, you know what? He's gonna say no. I just know it, and I walk on making X amount of dollars that I made before I thought. Or I could say, you know what, God, I don't know. Like, this is crazy, but like, I expect you to show up. We're gonna put on a summit. We expect somebody's gonna show up. Let's do it, right? And so we put down speculation and we pick up that expectation, right? That this is already mine, right? Like this adventure, this life, this promise that I have been given, abundant life, it's already mine. And so I approach each situation by just showing up. I just show up each and every day. I'm not afraid of what other people think. I know my mission. I stand behind it. I'm not afraid of failure, never stop learning, and I know my worth. Guys, this is so important that each and every day, there's a day that you were born, and there's a day that we will pass away. These two dates are on every single tombstone that you will ever see. Now, in between those two dates is a straight line. This dash represents your life. I want to ask you right now, what do you want that line to represent for you? What do you want your destiny, your legacy? You have a full life to live, but you'll never get to where you're wanting to go by doing what you've always done. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. It's just not going to happen. You got to rise up. You've got to rise up in a world full of uncertainty. I don't know where my next dollar is coming from. I don't know where my next meal is coming from. I just got laid off because of COVID-19. I just got this. I just got that. I need you to look around. What's positive in your life? What's good in your life? Right now, you've got some sort of electricity, some sort of electronics. You're able to tune in. You're able to hear a powerful message saying, right now, this is for you. Rise up, get up. Let's go. Like you have work to do. Man. And that's so good, guys. When you know your worth, all right, then you know kind of your value, and you will never be or let anyone devalue or any situation devalue you. Listen, in 1 year's time, my wife and I, we lost our daughter, Callie Grace, to Potter's syndrome. I lost my mother to a drug addiction. A drug overdose took her life, and I lost my grandmother, one of the greatest women I've ever known. All of this in 1 year's time. I saw death at the beginning of life with my baby Callie Grace. I saw death at the middle of life with my mother, and death at the end of life with my grandmother. All of that to say this: we only get one shot at this thing, guys. We only get one shot to live out our life this side of eternity. What are you gonna do with it? What are you doing with it? Again, from the words of the great John Maxwell, one of life's important questions is, who am I? But even more important is, who am I becoming? You can never stop learning and growing. I want to challenge each and every one of you to be using this time of uncertainty for growth. To be using this time of uncertainty for reading, for studying, for spending valuable family time. You'll never get this time back. Rather than being cowered behind a curtain, I can pull this curtain back, rather than hiding behind this curtain, right? Get out and say, you know what? This is me. You know, have your mask on, of course. But hey, you know, this is me. Like, this is what I was created to do. I'm living my life not in fear. Now, wait a minute now. All right. So when I say that, all right, do take into fact government regulations. Okay. I'm not saying, you know, go past all of that. But here's what I am saying. Inside, you have an internal power source, just like these smartphones, guys. We don't even know how smart, what all they can do yet. We have no idea what smartphones can truly do. But I do know this, that if they're not plugged into a power source, I know for a fact that they can no longer continue to do what they were created to do. Now, in saying that, you, my friend, have to be plugged in. You have to be plugged in to whatever your power source is. Whatever it is for you that drives you to wake up in the morning, that drives you to keep moving every day. And I want you to step up to that and step up to the plate, and I want you to take a swing. I want you to take a swing, because if you don't, somebody else will. What is it? What is it that's like in there burning, that's like, you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care if I fail. I know my mission. I know what I got to do. I'm not going to stop learning. I'm going to know my worth, because if you're taking this time right now to learn and grow, most of your opposition is not. So when you come out of COVID-19, you're coming out of COVID-19 from a place of strength, from a place of just fearless devotion to your task, fearless devotion to what you've been called to do. So in other words, the people that were around you trying to hold you back, you're on a whole nother level now. You done put in the time. You done put in the training. You've done put in the work during all of this downtime to excel at your craft, to learn your craft, to learn whatever it is that's inside your bones. And so when you come out of COVID, when I come out of this race war, I've done learned everything that I could possibly learn about my fellow brother. Whether we look the same or whether we don't, I want to ask those questions, and I want to learn those facts about my fellow brother that I bump shoulder to shoulder with each and every day. so that I come out of a place of COVID, of fear, come out of a place of racial injustice, fear, so I come out of these places from a place of strength and boldness. Not worried about what my opposition thinks, because my opposition doesn't know now what I know, what I put in work for, what I earned, what I really truly sat down and took the time to learn and have someone else explain to me why they're reacting that way, why they think that way, why they believe that way. Listen to me, guys. Not everything you've been taught from generation to generation is 100% accurate. There's another side to the story that we gotta love people, man. Don't be so bogged down and locked down in fear that we can't rise up in love by not worrying about what other people think, by knowing my mission and standing behind it, by not being afraid of failure. I'll never stop learning. The day that I stop learning is the day that I die, physically, spiritually, and mentally. And I'll know my worth. I'll know my value, and nobody will take that away from me, and nobody will tear me down and stop me from doing what I was straight up created to do. And I'm going to do that by putting down speculation and picking up expectation. And I want to control those thoughts, that control those emotions, that control those actions in a system that was designed to fail. You were created to win. What are you going to do? What are you going to do with it, man? Man, I love that. And that's just such a powerful word for us today and for us through these times. And I want to encourage each and every one of you today to please take these words into your heart and chew on them like a cow eating grass all day in the pasture. Just meditate on it now and really get it in your spirit that you are powerful. The Courageous Self Summit. You can be courageous. You can have strength and self-empowerment by controlling your thoughts, letting them controlling your emotions, and then your emotions control your actions. Now, if you want to learn more about me, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at DustinRivenbark.com. Also, I'm on Instagram at Dust214. That's at DUST214. I have a website as well, DustinRivenbark.com. If you have any questions or just want to get a hold of me for whatever, please be sure to reach out to me. Also on Facebook at Dustin Amy Rivenbark. That's AIMEE. And you can find us there. And I look forward to hearing from you. Guys, the Courageous Self Summit. Let's go. You were created to win in a system designed to fail.